We're on a private ranch in northern Mexico. The task here is culling 3-year-old whitetail bucks of 9 points or less. In the previous film, I've shown you how the Robinson deer knife, with its unique design and shape, helps you achieve the perfect gralloch. Now, with some help from whitetail expert Dr. James Kroll and master butcher Alan Hayward, I can take you through the way I use the deer knife to remove the head and legs and to neatly skin the carcass. Your Robinson key points here are: work clean and in sections, cut in strokes on the hide and not the meat, and again, use each feature of the blade in its proper way as the design intended, allowing the anatomy of the deer to guide your cuts. James, talk to me about this beautiful looking animal.
It's a very healthy animal. We're doing the cull out here, and we're just culling on genetics, not necessarily on body condition, but this deer has got tremendous body fat. This is some fine venison.
It's also been very neatly shot. I think we need to say that.
Very neatly shot.
Alan here, who is a true professional at these things,
yeah,
has shot this immaculately. So we got no trauma to the body at all.
Right. It was a quick, clean, humane kill.
So we're going to start at the back end. Now this is something you see a lot, is how carcasses are treated, and everything in Britain is about carcasses for meat. So
right.
The first thing is get a cradle, one of these things.
Yeah.
And now what I do on the back legs is I run my finger up thumb up the inside of the back leg until I hit the first bump. And then I go until that bump becomes flat, and then there's 2 bumps. And you see the knife has got a little curve in the blade here. Pop it in there, round the front, all the way to the back like that. And then keeping the leg completely straight, I'm going to rotate it the opposite way.
There you go.
And we cut it perfectly.
Yeah.
And then, there you go. Do you want to do that one?
I'll try. Let's see.
Till you hit the first bump.
Then
go up a little until it flattens, and then put your knife right on top of that flat bit there.
Right in here?
Yeah. And don't take the knife out.
All right.
Into the tendon on either side. So you cut it fully.
Yep. All right.
And then straighten the leg. There you go.
Yeah, good. Quite good. There you go.
It's a nice technique, huh?
Wonderful technique.
And I think what the whole thing about what we're doing here is trying to show how use anatomy to help you.
Yeah, you have to know anatomy.
Would you like to do the fronts, Alan?
My favorite one.
Bend it in half.
For the front legs, bend the joint and cut across the front of the socket. Twist it again in a circular motion and cut across the tendon to free the leg. Now for the head, Alan's taking a firm hold on the ear.
Tight to the ears.
And using gravity and anatomy to open the atlas joint. Off comes the head.
I love to see a master at work.
And here's the thing, that looks so simple when it's done well.
Don't try and do it from the back or the bottom. On the side so that it opens out. And its own weight as well. That's why I laid it on the side slightly.
So the weight pulls it away. Yeah. Okay, we're going to start the skinning.
Yep.
Perhaps, Alan, you'd like to start on the front legs. Okay. Starting at the extremities and working inwards, push the very tip of the blade in between the hide and the membrane. Twisting the cutting edge of the point upwards will cut pattern lines outwards through the hide. A really important factor of the design of I think, a tool for this sort of job is you see the way this blade kicks upwards. And that's not curved, that's a straight. And the idea of that is when I run this like this now, I can run it down under the skin and it won't puncture into the actual meat of the animal at all. So we're going to take the skin clean off the hind legs. While we're chatting, Alan's pretty much got the front end done. He can shoot them and he can skin them. Keeping the hide in one piece will not only be neat, but it will help your grip. And one of the key points, James, for us, we never just rip a skin off and leave any meat. We want this to be a completely fleshed skin when it's off. We're going to pull the skin tight, okay? And then we're going to use the knife to just ease it away against the skin like so. Okay, like that. It isn't hard. Like that. And you've got a lovely delicate tip to the blade.
Oh, that's the first thing I noticed. This knife works like a scalpel.
And then, can you hold that for a moment? Sure. I'm going to use my thumb and I'm going to peel that clean away and get my hand in like that, look. Thumb in there. There you are, sir. Look at that. Try to tension the hide and cut above the meat so as to neatly separate the membrane that joins the hide and the skin. Remember, we want a perfect meat-free skin at the end of this. And then we hang it up. Hanging the carcass with the hocks above you at head height is the key. This means you'll be able to work off the ground and you'll be able to use gravity to help you. And for this, we'll also be using the boning knife. So, carcass is hung, and we're going to get the skin to about this point, and then we won't need to use a knife at all. So, carry on, gentlemen.
I'll work on this end. Yeah, I can cut this. I'm good at it.
Last little bit here. The fat's gone really beautifully hard.
Yeah, it's firmed up nicely.
There we go, look. Okay, I don't need a knife now. And any time you get a bit of membrane left, use your thumb to prevent it from staying on the skin. Isn't that right, Alan?
Okay.
Look at that.
You go through the joint there.
Yeah.
That's your lever. That's your handle.
That's your handle.
There you go. It just comes straight through.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, Alan, do you want to demonstrate now the no knife technique? So it bunches the skin up to tension it. And Mrs. Hayward loves it when he comes home from work with his elbows in that state.
Yeah.
The neck's always the hardest bit, eh? All that muscle's forming in their necks, isn't it?
When it runs, it's really tough.
Yeah. So you just give it a little touch with that knife and it'll just slide off. That
Now,
is...
let's look at that skin. Your taxidermist is going to love you.
No fleshing, eh?
Very nice.
As a restaurateur and a hunter, for me, it's all about doing justice to these wonderful animals. And I hope you'll find correct gralloching, skinning and practice butchery will help you create some amazing cuts of meat and waste absolutely nothing. Largely thanks to your Robinson deer knife.